Hey everybody, this is going to be a really quick video. I didn't have my mic on, the batteries were dead, and so I'm doing a voiceover. Just explaining really quickly that no matter what brand of paint I use, tube paint or the craft bottle paint, I always add a 1-to-1 ratio of Floetrol, latex based, no matter what. The only variable is the water. You don't need water for the craft bottle paints, and you do need water for the tube paints, which are super thick. So I have a little Floetrol added into my water, about 10% in the bottle, and that just helps it blend into the paint much easier. So you just do little squirts at a time until you get it to the perfect consistency. And what someone else had said, which I think is a really good parallel, would be it's like melted ice cream. You want it to kind of fall into the paint. You don't want it to land in a mound on top of the paint. Then there's also the question of whether to use treadmill lubricant, 100% silicone, or OGX coconut milk anti-breakage hair serum, which is a very specific product. I prefer the OGX. It's just less residue. It just takes one drop, not a full pump, just a drop. And the main ingredient is dimethicone. That's the first ingredient. I put it into a squeeze bottle so you can just pull out a dropper full, because you don't want a full pump of hair product in your paint. You just want one drop, no matter if it's 3 ounces or 10 ounces in your cup, just one drop. I have this ugly canvas that's about 16 by 20 that I painted probably about a year ago, and I've never cared for it. This is a Wilton icing fondant spreader, and I use Artist Loft white and black Flow Acrylic that comes in a quart from Michaels. It's kind of thick, so you add the Floetrol 1-to-1 and water. I do not add any silicone or OGX in the white or black. Those are my neutrals, and I always keep the silicone out of those colors or those neutrals. And the only time I use a heat source like a torch or a heat gun is just really to pop air bubbles. This was a challenge by Jill Jackson in my Facebook group. She also has a YouTube channel called Sister Earthification. And it's an open cup pour, which means you just cut out the bottom of a cup, or you can use a PVC pipe or something that is open on both ends. So that's why it's referred to as an open cup pour or drag. And I wanted to show you the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic bottle. I don't have the white, I just have the black bottle. It comes in a quart from Michaels, or you can order it online and sometimes get it about half price. So I'm using multiple colors today. This is Dioxazine Purple. If you drip, just lift it out with your fingertip and add some white back to it. This is a deep violet and a cobalt blue. I had large cups of paint mixed for a class, and it's so much harder when you're dealing with large cups of paint to keep it controlled. You end up splattering and using too much. This is a cadmium yellow. This is a coral color. Neon pink. And true red. And I can tell you right off the get-go, with a drag, a flip and drag, we're not flipping today, we're just dragging, and I'm putting marbles in there. This was a marble challenge. I put way too much paint inside these little cups. It just, when you do a drag technique like this, you really need very, very little paint. And I used way too much for the effect that I had wanted to achieve. Jill has a video very similar to this one, but she used very little paint, and hers was way more successful on her YouTube channel. Go check it out. I really kind of didn't know what to do with this. I tried tilting it and wasn't real pleased with that. I'm heating it just to hopefully get the white to settle up a little bit more where it's on top of colors. And I'm trying to zoom in just to show you what happens. It just kind of does little tiny lacing. I had meant to put white in over the red at the end of the colors but I forgot. So now I've got one of those big long straws that you get the really tart sour candy powder in. I picked up one of those at the beach the other day so I could use the straw later. And some people say, why don't you use tubing and that way your head's not in the way, but I actually prefer using a straw. I do have tubing, but I just don't really care for it as much. I probably should have just left it alone right there. But as I have a tendency to do, I kept playing with it and playing, and I added more because I felt like the stems of these things where the marble rolled was not really that significant. So I added strips of paint with my paint sticks. And I'm telling you, with my hands there, I wasn't really crazy about this at all. Here I'm using a skewer and just kind of dragging the paint out a little bit just to give it a little bit more flair at the bottom, just to take a little bit of the weight off the top of the design. I'm really confused with what I should have done with this, but I just decided to keep playing with it. That's what I like to do, is just experiment. So I just decided to start swiping a little bit with a couple of the areas just to try something different. Then a little bit more tilting, down, sideways, you name it. So it just kind of becomes one big blob of cellular shapes. And I kept blowing to try to make it look like something, but this was not one of my more favorite pours. I like it better than what was originally on the canvas, though, I can tell you that. I never cared for that one either. So maybe this canvas was just jinxed, who knows? So I'm just using my skewer just to drag out and change some things and touching up some spots I missed. But there it is, the Open Cup Marble Challenge by Jill Jackson from Sister Earthification, her YouTube channel. And she's the moderator in my Facebook group. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, please come over and join me. It's in the link below the video. I have a link for the Facebook group. And I'm just doodling around a little bit with this. So at least it's colorful, if nothing else. I called it Fourth Celebration. It reminded me a little bit of a combination of feathers and fireworks. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and click on the bell on the bottom right if you want to get notifications when I post new videos. And check out all the links below the video. There's the Amazon recommendations link with all kinds of products and tools below. I have a new tutorial platform where I'm trying to teach people how to paint with acrylics, like fish and birds and abstracts and landscapes and flowers and all kinds of fun things. It's different from my YouTube channel. I just want to help people learn how to paint, and it's only $35 a class, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want, or you can subscribe and have access to all of it. So I appreciate you watching me and following me, and I will be making more videos for you wait for the next one, and I hope y'all have a great week. Bye bye.